want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
With a hard R.
Check this out. I just want to tell you this story real quick. I just been thinking about it. So I used to mess with this black chick, fine as hell, bad, I'm to my super bad. Freaking in the morning. And we still communicate to this day. We just, she do her thing. We don't have sex no more. But she told me, oh, I want to role play. I want you to call me the N-word. I say, listen, I'm down to do a lot, but I don't feel comfortable doing. I don't do that. I'm not on that. I don't feel comfortable. She was on some real weird, on like, yeah, I'm your slave. I'm your, yeah, like that. I'm your slave and you the master. I say, man, listen, I can be a lot, but that I'm not gonna feel comfortable in that thing and having to call you that. That ain't what I can't do that. It was crazy. I just had to share that. But that's all I got, man.
Now let me tell you something real quick. Past the locks and the accent and the grills, more than likely he's down south or whatever. I believe him. I 100% believe him because this is not my first time covering stories like this where you have black women that want a certain type of treatment from the preferences that they want to date. And the most interesting thing about it is that these are the same women that want to harp on black men and that want to talk about black men online. And I'm just talking about general. It don't matter if the black man isn't dating anybody, still running him off. It don't matter if the black man is dating a black woman, still running him off. It don't matter if the black man is doing the same thing that they're doing and dating their preference, still running their mouth. So, like I said, all of this is vastly ridiculous. I've showed you guys on this platform a video before where it was a black woman who was dating her preference, and she decided that she wanted to talk about LeBron's son bringing a Caucasian girl to school, right? To his prom and whatnot. And on social media, people were calling out a lot of people saying like, "Yo, it's weird that you're worried about what a a high school senior is doing. Like you're worried about who he's bringing to prom," which to an extent, yeah, it is a little bit weird. He's dealing with somebody who is his own age. They both go to school together. It is exactly what it is. Both parents, both families are completely fine with it. It is what it is at the end of the day. That was his decision, and it was. But it wasn't even just the fact that that was what he wanted to do. That same woman who wanted to talk about LeBron's son was also dating her preference, which was somebody who was not even a black man. So, like I said before, pot meet kettle. It doesn't make any type of sense if you know that you're not doing the main things that you argue and you talk down about black men about. You know that you're not doing the exact same things. You have no room to talk. You realistically need to sit that one out, coach. This is not your battle. It just is not. But this is when it comes into a time where I told you guys before, when it comes into social media, you have a lot of people that have an opinion. And because everybody has a cell phone, a laptop, a tablet, or whatever, something that's hooked up to a webcam or anything that can record a voice, you're going to have hundreds of millions of people out here putting their opinions directly on social media. Some opinions are, substantiated, right? They have facts and different things and logic to validate, those opinions. And a lot of other people are just strictly going off of feelings, and they want to say that their feelings are facts. Just because they feel it, it is a fact, and that is not how facts, logic, or reality actually works. But it's very hard um, to tell people that because they don't want to listen, because they feel that whatever they say, it matters. Any and all opinions matter, when realistically, yet again, that's not exactly how that works. Um, so, like I said, this is why it's getting to a difficult point where you have a lot of black men who are vocal online stating that, there's a variety of things that they just don't want to do anymore. And, when you start hearing a lot of these things, it's like it starts to make a little bit of sense, right? Like I said before, I'm not strictly talking about every single black woman out here. If you feel that I am, you're deaf, dumb, and stupid. Now, I specifically stated that the women that are being mentioned are the ones that are deciding to go directly after their preference, and then at the same time want to be vocal about black men in general, trying to state what black men need to do, should be doing, and aren't doing. But yet, you're over here doing this. You're over here having your preference, wanting your preference, telling your preference, hey, I want to sit up there and role play. I want you to sit up there and use the hard R. I want you to call me this a multitude of times. I want to be your slave. What? And then the funny part is these are the exact same women that will sit up there and say that they find it offensive when black men catcall black women, when black men are aggressively seeking black women. And what I mean aggressively seeking, I mean they're going up to them, right? With that aggression, it's like, hey, I see you, I'm interested, you're looking kind of nice, yada yada yada. The normalcy, or what used to be considered normal, right? Before it was now considered harassment and toxic masculinity. So, like I said before, if black men are defined at this moment in time by society, and the women in society as toxic masculinity, what specifically would be the name for a lot of the black women that allow their preferences to call them way out of their name? We're not talking about the normal, names that some people might like to use. We're dealing with some stuff that has history to it, that has a lot of emotions to it, that has a lot of has a culmination of everything. It's literally woven into the fabric of America. And you're like, this is the thing that turns me on. Wow. Wow. Like I said, when you think you heard it all, you haven't. So, like I said before, black women, like I said, I don't know what to tell y'all. Like I said, I'm going to believe the preference. I'm going to believe the guy that you have black women out here actively seeking, wanting to date, wanting to be with, wanting to bed. I'm going to believe that guy, because whenever these things are brought up to a lot of black women who date out, they're dismissive. They don't want to focus on a topic. They want to deflect. They want to do all of these things. So, like I said, because there can't be an actual logical conversation about this, because people want to run away from it, there is no other choice but to believe the preference up until further notice. And it's going to be up until further notice because, like I said before, these things will not get highlighted and these things will not get talked about by the overwhelming majority. Because, like I said before, it's like, yo, if you're telling one guy this, you really think that he's just keeping this to himself? He's going to be sitting up there telling other guys about this. Like I said before, because this is completely ridiculous. I would sit up there and tell somebody this myself, because I just can't believe that you would actually have people out here. You would actually have women out here knowing the history and everything that black women have had to deal with and go through, right? And this is what you want to do. Wow. Like I said, hey, this is y'all. Shahrazad Ali, she tried to tell y'all some stuff earlier on in the 90s. Y'all ain't want to listen. She said how bad it was going to get. And that was the tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. But this is what happens when you don't want to listen to that one black woman that is speaking of logic, that is speaking of facts, that is speaking from a place that has nothing to do with emotions at all. And you want to sit up there and overlook her words. You want to sweep them under the rug. You want to call her the problem, call her the issue. And then you want to point and blame black men for everything. Here you go. This is the culmination of all of those black women from the 90s deciding to ignore every single thing that Shahrazad Ali stated, along with other individuals.